In the dead of night, where silence reigns supreme and the darkness seems to swallow all traces of light, John awoke with a start. His head throbbed with a dull pain, the remnants of some unknown blow. As his eyes adjusted to the dim, flickering light above, he found himself strapped firmly to an old wooden electric chair, its leather restraints biting into his skin. The room was small, barely more than a cell, with peeling walls stained by the passage of time and terror. A single bulb hung from the ceiling, swinging slightly as if disturbed by an unseen presence. The air was thick with the scent of mildew and something more sinister, the sharp tang of fear. John tugged at his bindings, but the metal cuffs were unyielding, cold against his wrists and ankles. Panic surged through him like electricity through the chair he was bound to. His eyes darted around, seeking any clue, any hope. There, on a table across from him, lay an assortment of tools, pliers, knives, and what looked eerily like electrodes. The door creaked open, a sound so loud in the quiet it made John's heart skip. A figure stepped in, shrouded in shadow, the face obscured by a hood. The stranger moved with an eerie calm, methodically preparing something on the table. "You're awake," the figure said, voice a low, gravelly whisper that seemed to come from within John's own mind. "I've been waiting." "Why am I here?" John's voice cracked, desperation seeping through. The figure chuckled, a sound devoid of warmth. "To understand the essence of fear, to feel it, not just in your mind, but in every fibre of your being." John watched in horror as the figure attached electrodes to his temples, the cold metal sending shivers down his spine. "This chair," the figure continued, "was once used for execution. But tonight it will serve a different purpose." With a sudden flick of a switch, a low hum filled the room, the chair vibrating beneath him. John's body tensed, anticipating the pain, but instead he felt a strange, invasive warmth spreading through his brain, like tendrils of thought not his own. "You see," the figure whispered, leaning close, "I'm not just going to kill you. I'm going to make you live through horrors unimaginable, through every fear you've ever harbored. And when it's over, if you survive, you'll beg for the release death offers." The machine whirred louder, and visions began to assault John's mind. He saw himself in scenarios of his deepest fears, drowning in an endless ocean, buried alive, chased by shadows with no form. Each vision was vivid, too real, and with each one his heart pounded harder against his chest, threatening to burst. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time lost all meaning. When the machine finally stopped, John was a shell, trembling, eyes wide with the terror of 1,000 nightmares. The figure stood, observing him like a scientist does a failed experiment. "You're different," the figure noted. "You've survived further than the others, but I'm not done with you yet." The last thing John saw before the darkness claimed him again was the figure reaching for the switch once more. And in that moment, he realized the true horror. This was only the beginning. The chair, the room, the figure. They were all part of a cycle of terror that would continue until his heart or mind gave out. Or worse, until he became part of the darkness himself.